Sorry about the long delay, but Christmas and everything, that took my time up. But I definitely was working here and there as much as I could. Basically all I worked on was shaders. I was trying to get excuse me, I was trying to get shaders to what they were in the old engine, and that was implementing some of the missing shader features. So I did implement specular lighting in there, which came out pretty nicely. What I did on that is on the doors, they have the metal. I put specular lighting on the metal, so they kind of like pop out a little bit better than they did before. And the next shader thing I was working on was a blend. That way I can blend moss on top of any texture. So then I have a blend texture, and then I have, in a sense, a random a texture that tells me, based on height, how to mix the two, so that I can have a texture looks a little mossy, moldy, so I can do that in certain areas instead of having to draw all the different mossy areas that I want in the enhanced game. And that actually came out pretty nice looking. So as I was looking at the area that needs the moss, I saw the sign was not even touching the tablet. You can see that it was way off, so I ended up having to fix that little bug. And I did many bugs while shader testing to fix all the things that I did see. Okay, the one thing I should be doing is having a model editor. That way I can edit it outside of the game. I don't have one, so I make changes and then just go to that area. At some point, even though it would take time to create that, it probably would save a ton of time creating the model editor. I really do need to get that down so I can do that. That way in the game I can do my fine adjustments without spending 20 minutes getting it completed. Okay, in the next clip, what you're going to be seeing is the original engine that I created that shows the specular lighting done on there, and also shows the mold blending that was created. I just wanted to let you see what it looked in the old engine. This is the engine right here, and then I will show you the final result in the new engine. It's a little different, but still very good. As you can see, the specular lighting on the door, and also you can see the mold on the walls. This one is in a raining setting, so it's a little darker. Depending on the type of rain it is, it does make it darker or lighter, so to kind of give it more of a gloomy feel when it's raining or not. In this section I'm just going through a bunch of code through the shader, implementing a bunch of new features, the specular lighting, the blending in there, trying to get it all worked out. It took a little while, because just getting back into the groove of things, and I realized how much I've forgotten, and I have to look up and search to find variables and features and stuff like that. It's just not at the top of my head anymore. It's been too many years since I've done it, but it's starting to come back, and will start flowing a little faster. But it's actually coming along. I'm enjoying it in there. I'm enjoying doing it again. It's working out pretty nicely. From this point, I am working on lighting in the game. So if the character has a torch, it lights up the game on there. So I think this is lighting that would take place inside of a building, because it has a roof and a floor, versus something outside like this right here. This is what it would look like. The torches affect the lighting, and you can see there's some real mess ups. I was having some problem in the shader where where the light stops. It wasn't exactly right. Parts of the quad was still thinking it was in the light, so it would do that and mess it up, and parts of the quad, the other half of the quad was not, and so it did get messed up. Okay, so at this point, as you can see, I finally got the shader down. It's not messing it up at the end. The lighting's done. You can see I'm about to use the torch, and that's what it looks like with the torch. You can turn, in the features, you can turn lighting flicker on or off, so it's just a constant light, or if the flicker is there. I think the flicker, in my opinion, looks I think it came out nice. I'm really happy with the lighting, the specular stuff, and the blending. And of course, my blending map is really off. As you can see, it makes it visible. The grid map, they don't blend. It doesn't blend into each other on the next one. So I mean, I'll work on that. That's simple to do. But I think the lighting came out really nice. So when you use a torch, it will light up the torch. And you can see that tavern right there is dark, and the reason why that's happening is it's material. I don't have the material being adjusted based by the lighting. It's not being possible because each material needs new values on, you know, with the current lighting. Get the update with the current lighting, because every time there's an update, it goes through and, you know, give the materials new values, you know, the new torch light, and, you know, the new brightness, you know, so that it can cause the flicker. And that tavern was not in there. I found a few of them not in there, and I ended up correcting it. So I do think it came out pretty nicely. The last thing I did was, not still 100% sure on that floating gate. I never liked it just being a gate. I'm thinking about it actually being some kind of floating thing that kind of dumps people in the game, not just a door. I never liked that. I understood it, but you can kind of see right there, this is an idea I'm having. Instead of the door, is having this floating gate above there, and that's where you would appear. As you can see right there, there's a floating gate, and people would drop out of the gate right there. And I would remove door. I would remove that door. I just never liked that. But and then also it does give you some sense of the center of the city. Also thinking about the possibility is the gate appearing and disappearing appears when a new player is coming into the city. I think that would be neat. And that is all I have for this update. And I will keep working on it and make sure we get a finished product on this thing. There's no way I'm quitting now.